Welcome back to Wine du Jour. I have to tell you, this wine is delicious. The Nebbiolo we're talking about, it's L.A. Cetto's Nebbiolo, and it's actually a 2007 vintage, so it's got a little age on it, and believe it or not, it's about $21, which I thought it would be about $49. So $21, I like that, you know, that's a good thing. But one of the things about this Nebbiolo that I think is pretty unique is the fact that it's kind of on the dry side. Well, when you swallow the wine, you notice that your mouth is kind of dried out. You know, it's like I used to say, this is not that way, but I used to say with really dry wines, it would take the enamel off your teeth. You know, that's how dry it was. Well, here, it kind of gives you that sensation, but not in a drastic way. But at the same time, I think the tastes are pretty good. There's raspberries and some of the typical fruit that we're talking about. I love the beautiful color, the purple color, as opposed to just regular red wine. So it's pretty good, and for $21, I say that's a great thing. Now, here's what the chef has done. I want to tell you that one of the things in this taste that we got from Chef Mike is called an ají amarillo chili. Ají amarillo. It's just the name of a chili pepper, okay? And so they use some of that, not all of it, some of that, with some what we call sustainable fish. Sustainable fish means that the fish was caught either by line, what they call line caught, not by net. You don't want to buy fish that were net caught. Let me tell you why. You know, this ocean is a big place. You know how many people there are in the world, and most of them eat fish from one time or another. And so they go out with these big nets and big ships, and they go out in the middle of the ocean, they drop a big net, and they pull it up, and inside it is just all kinds of things. But they're only looking for maybe ahi tuna. I mean, I don't know, but just to say. So all the other things, after they get it out and it dies, they throw it back in the water. That's a waste. And to me, that's a terrible thing. But the ones that do what we call sustainable is that they know what kind of food the fish have eaten. Very important. Not you know, chemicals and all the other things that they feed them. But it becomes what we call sustainable. And that means everything is watched, what they eat and so on, which is determined by what you're going to eat when you eat it. You know what they say, you eat it, you wear it. Some of that stuff is not so good for you. So if you know that it's sustainable, you can buy it, no problem. So in this dish tonight, the chef put some sustainable fish, some ají amarillo chili, a little fresh ginger. God, it makes it sound almost like it's Oriental, doesn't it? Fresh ginger, and then of course, if it's Mexican, it's got to have lime, so a little fresh lime. And they put that on a piece of bread. What do you think? Was that a beautiful taste to go with this Nebbiolo? That's really, really nice. Now we're going to go to wine number 3 here when we come back from the break. And wine number 3 is the world famous red wine, Cabernet Sauvignon. When they add other juices, we're talking about from other grapes, to Cabernet or to Merlot or Syrah or whatever, they actually enhance the overall taste. Or if there's a void in that juice by itself, you kind of fill that void by adding some other type of juice to round it off so that it tastes better. This is called, I told you the ingredients with the sustainable fish, but this is called Peruvian, like as in Peru, Peruvian ceviche. Ceviche means that it's not been cooked by heat, been cooked by acid. Now don't say acid, wait a minute. We're talking about lime juice in this particular case. The acidity of the lime juice on the fish actually cooks it. And if you've had ceviche, we typically have shrimp ceviche, very common. Well, then they make 10, 15, 20 pounds of it at a time with fresh shrimp and lots of lime and some other spices in it, and they let it sit in the refrigerator for 24 hours or so. It tastes absolutely wonderful. Maybe a little bit of garlic slice, a little bit of onion, that type of thing. You make a ceviche that's to die for. And sometimes they add things like cilantro or parsley, and sometimes they don't. It's not a requirement. Sometimes they add a little, let's say, roasted red bell pepper, and cut it real fine, and sometimes they don't. So it just depends on the recipe. So if you're interested in any recipes, you can send me an email, les@leskincaid.com. Ask me. I get questions every day. Send out lots of recipes. We've got to go over those. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this beautiful red, purple wine. Be back in a moment.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.